was a farce and what you call a fraud.
Well, what was the point of submitting that? Did it have some government seal on it, or some evidence that it had been reviewed by someone, or why would they submit that?
Why is it an inside job? It's an inside job because you got a registration number, but you have no source work in deposit there. It's just like you went to the motor vehicle department to get a driving license, and you used your brother's ID and stuff. It's automatically invalid.
Right. In other words, what she's saying is, when someone in the great United States of America decides to go and protect their source work at the Library of Congress, there's a due process. There's a protocol for you to fill out the copyright form. The copyright form, of course, is all the contributing authors, your characters, your plot, your story, all the things that give your expression. Because, of course, to just do a little background, because a lot of people are ill-informed about copyright. You can't copyright an idea. Copyrights only protect expressions of ideas, and your expression of your idea is fleshed out in your story, in your characters, etc., etc. Now, these are the criteria that copyrights are supposed to be based around. Now, the general public is being forced to believe that one of the greatest science fiction films of our time has source material that's encapsulated in a title page, no characters, no plot, nothing, just a sheet of paper that says The Matrix. Now, how they were even able to get a copyright number without following the rules of completing a copyright form is beyond me, and this is what rings of an inside job.
Yeah, that's why I said it has to be an inside job, because everybody at the Copyright Office know that you have to have a complete expression. You have to have put in a script, a book, a manuscript, a treatment, a play, something that's complete, a full thought, beginning, middle, and end, with characters and plots and themes, the whole 9 yards. And that was not there, and they know it, so that's why they offered me money immediately. Now, the lawsuit was for the royalties. $300 million is what I had filed for, but whatever it's punitive damages or compensatory damages, that's triple the damages when it's criminal copyright infringement. If someone willfully takes something intentionally with malice, then you get treble the damages. So that's like $900 million, plus, like I told you, punitive damages, compensatory, and so that's over $1 billion in royalties. And that was what the dispute was about. It was never any dispute that I wrote The Matrix and the Terminator, and it was no dispute that I had the evidence to prove that, and the copyrights. Right. Because James Cameron, I'm sorry, but his 1982 movie treatment was 2 pages, and anybody can see that. That's available. You can pull up copyrighted work. It's public information. Anyone can go to the Copyright Office and pull it up, or pull it up online and read it, or go there in person and read it. It's no problem, but there is nothing there, no storyline in his 2 pages, and it came in 80, really his copyrights are 84, he and Gail Ann Hurd, and there's nothing there pertaining to the Terminator. Now, the naked machine, cyborg, enclosed in flesh comes from me. I'll be back, that terminology comes from me. Coming out of the burning flames, when he told Morley Safer, when Morley Safer said, "How did you come up with the Terminator?" He said, "I had a dream. The Terminator was coming out of the flames." Well, that's all in my 6-page movie treatment verbatimly.
Yeah, I want to get back to what Ed was talking about a minute ago on the procedural thing of getting the copyright number assigned, because there was a situation like this relative to the inspections on the drilling equipment of BP's down in the Gulf, where the government agency was literally letting the corporate officers themselves fill out the paperwork and assign approvals and that sort of thing. Are we looking at something like that in the Copyright Office, where there are people in the business that they're used to working with on a regular basis, and they've become so buddy that they just allow them to fill out the forms themselves and don't really check their work?
This is a good question, Sophia, if you'd allow me to handle this. Now, I'd like to say this. There are good and bad people in all organizations. We know this, right? You
Sure.
have, you're going to have your whistleblowers, and you're going to have your people who toe the line. All right, this is just a reality. Now, do these people exist in terms of people who are going to do things that are nefarious? Oh, yes, they do exist, ladies and gentlemen. And they don't only exist in the Copyright Office, but they exist in the court system, and they exist in, multiple systems in this great country we live in. But I am of the opinion, relative to the Copyright Office, I am of the opinion that somebody had to know something was being done improper, and they had to sanction that in order for the Wachowskis to be able to copyright one sheet of paper. And not only is it one sheet of paper, I'd like to add, there are some assignments. Along with that one sheet of paper, there are some assignments directly to Warner Brothers Corporation.
Uh-huh.
Now, whoever sanctioned this knew two things. A, there wasn't anything that was encapsulating or expressing a story in that one sheet, and the next thing they knew is that it was being assigned to Warner Brothers. And
Yep.
and then it was okayed. How this happened, I don't know. Sophia, please.
Yeah, I wanted to let Tom know that you guys need, media needs to inform people, and you guys need to really research, because when you pull up these copyrights, both Cameron's and the Wachowskis, they're nothing but assignments. James Cameron is just assignment from, supposedly he paid $1 that was to cut the writers' guild, the writers and stuff, so they couldn't get paid properly. He said that he gave it to Gail Ann Hurd for $1. You don't give away something so phenomenally valuable for $1. And then she creates a dummy corporation called Pacific Western, where she embezzled my 6-page movie treatment immediately. It came to 20th Century Fox on May the 1st, 1981. Susan Mesbeck, Vice President of Creative Affairs at Fox, they loved it. They offered to buy it from me, Fox. And then next thing I know, they're behind my back creating Terminator. She and her buddy Gail and Hurd get together, and they see this great concept, because what I created, Man versus Machine, was an original concept that had never been seen in any of the old 50 movies or anywhere, about a nuclear war with a flesh cyborg, or what you call a machine enclosed in flesh, because everybody was writing the old Iron Age concept of H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells was born in the Iron Age, and so he had already created these metal robots. Well, me myself being born in the digital age, I saw the machine as flesh, that it would be enclosed in flesh, it would be cloned in the future with a chip, and we would have digital wars, computerized warfare, and nuclear wars and stuff, which all of these elements were never seen in any of the old 50 movies that Harlan Ellison and Roger Corman and Ray Bradbury and Rod Serling and those guys, they were still on the atomic age, and they were still with H.G. Wells' old Iron Age concepts of metal. So I came up with something totally original, and then Gail Ann Hurd and Susan Mesbeck, being women, knew that this science fiction field was dominated by males. It would just be really impossible for a female to even get recognized and to be recognized with an original concept if they had to put their name on the product. You know what I'm saying? So this is where James Cameron come in.
Right.
They needed a male to pull it off, and James Cameron had just had a defeat with that Piranha movie over in Italy, and they were really kicking his